About a month ago, I made the decision to honour what has been a dream of mine for many years and purchase a van of my own. I didn't think this was going to be on the cards for another few years, but I stumbled upon this van on Marketplace and knew it was time. I sold my very great, very reliable little hatchback and picked up this 1994 four-wheel drive Toyota Light Ace, an import from Japan. I eagerly awaited our week-long uni break, and here I was setting off for Astro's first big camping trip, making my way up to Agnes Water 1770, around 7 hours up from my home on the Gold Coast. I gave myself this week to spend it however I needed, exploring, relaxing, reading, and just disconnecting from all the tasks and hustle of the normal day-to-day, from uni and work and any expectations I normally set for myself, to slow down and reset my nervous system, experience a simpler all-field existence, even if just for a week. This video is a little montage, a few snippets and thoughts from along the way. I got this beach all to myself. It is night 2 of my little week-long van trip up north. I didn't have a site or anything booked yesterday, so I kind of just found a really quiet, dark, safe street in like a safe area and stayed there, and it was all good. No one bothered me. The van is not insulated or anything. It hasn't had any conversions or anything done to it. It's just kind of the very bare minimum that you can do to kind of travel with, and it is very cold at night, but because the engine is right under the seats, it kind of heats up the car. So last night I rugged up and made sure that I'd be warm, because the other couple times I've slept in the van I was so cold, but because it had already been kind of heated a little bit because I was driving it, it was just way too hot. It was toasty. And then a few hours later I woke up again and I was so freezing, so I had to put on pants and a puffer and fluffy socks. So that's just kind of how we're rolling at the moment, and I have a feeling it's going to be the same tonight. I'm actually like very warm, so that is why I'm in this big sleeping t-shirt. My hair is screaming camping in a van. It's a bit salty, so I'm going to put it up in a bun before I sleep, and then hopefully I think I'll be able to kind of rinse it off where I'm at tomorrow. This is my view right now. This is my light source. The curtains are definitely not blackout curtains and they're not perfect, but they're actually pretty good considering they're just what came with the van. It's nothing super crazy, but it's been pretty functional for the moment, and that's all that we need. I had the nicest evening just reading my book on the beach, watching the sunset, and kind of staying there until it got dark, and there were a few other people around as well, which was nice, and they were all just doing their own things too. And since it's been dark, I've just been playing my guitar a little bit, so before I go to bed, there is a toilet at this campsite, so I'm gonna brush my teeth and go to the bathroom and put my contacts in. The van is still super toasty at the moment, so we'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, it definitely does help getting to sleep when you get to sleep in somewhere warm rather than cold. I found a nice little quiet spot on the beach to sit next to this piece of driftwood. And I have a whole bunch of fruit that I'm gonna have for breakfast, including my snapped apple, so I'm quite excited. So I tried to have a little go on the beach, but this is what the little entry point looks like, and the tide is really high, so it looks like it won't be happening right now, but how beautiful is this? I've made it to Hervey Bay, and a guy that I talked to in Rainbow Beach told me that Hervey Bay is really slow and kind of boring, and I see that, but it is so nice and peaceful. It's just like really quiet here, and there's not that many people around, and the water is really still and calm. I reckon I'll go for a run in a little bit, but it's still pretty hot out, so I'm gonna just chill and read for a bit, and yeah, then go for a jog. I don't know if you can see them, but there's heaps of little crabs everywhere, and they're really cute. I'm gonna see if I can slowly. Morning of my hervey or harvey, I don't know, everyone calls it different things, day, and I'm staying in a campsite, so I thought I'd actually do the little tour of the bed now that I have a bit more space and I'm not on the street or surrounded by a million other people. There are a lot of funky birds here. We've got some funky geese. Or turkeys, I don't really know what they are. I assume they're turkeys. That's turkey. There is a peacock over there. Some roosters in there apparently. Here is the van, and now that it's been used for a few days, I feel like the tour is going to be a lot more accurate. So when you walk in, this is where I keep my shoes because it's plastic and they don't get grubby. This is my toilet pass, so I'm going to leave that here. Good, how you doing? Good, good. These things are loud, eh? Oh, yeah. They're so funny. Yeah.
Did it wake you up or?
No, I woke up really early, so I woke up when it was still dark, but
okay, right.
Yeah, which is probably a good thing. They're cute though.
They're a bit noisy, but yeah.
I like them.
They are good.
Yeah. Did they wake you up?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Are you travelling a bit?
I had a nice little chat with my camping neighbour, but we continue on. We've got my bed, which is just the seats folded down with like a camping mattress on top and then a sheet. So absolutely nothing crazy. All my bedding I keep in this little pocket because it gets warmed up by the engine and then is nice and toasty when I go to sleep. This pocket just has like a couple like just little tidbits that I reach for often, and my bed socks. And then this light hangs up here at night, and it can go really bright, so I am all set for lighting. We've got my guitar snug in here. Obviously the surfboards take up so much space, so they just sit in here and it makes like a nice little pocket for my esky. And then the suitcase just has all of my clothes and stuff, nothing crazy. My towel is here for easy access, and then here's just a few more sleeping things that I've been too lazy to put back, but this has got another clean towel and just some, yeah, more bed stuff. And then at the back you can see the boards again, and then this is my wetsuit bag, which unfortunately hasn't been used because there's been no waves. A yoga mat, and this is kind of like my cooking stuff. Yeah, there's another like little side pocket here, and I've got another book and a beanie and more socks just for easy access while I'm sleeping. It's very spacious, like it's not, but it is at the same time. The front seat is super messy because it's kind of just like my grab and go pile. This bag just has like a bunch of miscellaneous goodies in it. My hairbrush, hand sanitizer and moisturizer, and a pen, which is important. And then yeah, just the essentials on the seat. So this is it for now. I obviously haven't done any conversions or anything to it yet, like I said before, but yeah, it's super cozy and functional for one person. There's plenty of space. I do want to put a bed in it eventually so I can go with other people too, but it's been great, and I keep just like looking around and being like, oh my gosh, This is mine. I am heading up to Agnes Water today, and that is a 3-hour drive from where I'm at now. But before I leave, I'm gonna have like another little explore of the area a little bit up north from here, and just like grab a coffee, check out the like cafes and stuff, and go for a stroll and just explore what else is around here. So I'm quite excited. Made it to Aggie. It's around 7:30 or so. I'm feeling pretty knackered. It's been a big day, and that drive did take it out of me a little bit, but I watched the sunset by the beach and it was gorgeous, and I'm so excited to explore tomorrow. But I've just been playing my guitar for the past like half an hour, and I started learning. It's called Tiger Stripe Sky by Rue Paynes. I was just shuffle playing my like songs on the way here, and it came on, and I was like, that sounds fun, I should try to learn it. So this is what I've got after a little bit. That's all I've got so far. I'm going to keep playing for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to head to sleep. I do have an exciting update though, and that is that the IGA here was very extensive and very good, which I was so not expecting, but they have vegan banana bread. I don't think it's actually intentionally vegan, but it's got no animal products, so that's my breakfast for tomorrow. And I also did have a slice in the evening as well. The wind noise isn't too bad here. I think I found a half decent little secluded spot in amongst the trees, but as I was walking I was just thinking, a couple of people actually said to me before I left, like, don't you feel lonely going for trips by yourself? And honestly, like, no, not really. Just a quick side note, there are some really huge ants crawling around, so I'm really hoping they don't decide to crawl on me. But what was I saying? I think there is some aspect of loneliness to being human itself, and honestly I feel way more alone being surrounded by people that I don't really connect with, or that I don't really like share the same values by. But yeah, I only saw like 2 other people on this trail the whole time, and I felt amazing. I mean, it's obviously a lot easier to feel amazing when you're surrounded by such beautiful scenery, but I think the point that I'm trying to make is that when you know yourself so deeply and you enjoy your own company, you don't actually feel alone being by yourself. I think the feeling of loneliness largely comes from, you know, not being able to be understood. But I think because I do understand myself a lot more deeply than I used to, I don't necessarily feel lonely in my own company. And I think because I spend so much of my day-to-day life just constantly interacting with people, that I do crave this time by myself and to be with my own thoughts. You know, like, I work in hospitality, I live with other people, I go to uni and everything, so there is always engagement with people, so this feels really refreshing to be by myself for a little bit. And, you know, could I do it forever? Honestly probably yeah, but would I want to? Probably not. With bigger chunks of solo travel, especially if you're staying in, you know, hostels and stuff, or if you're in one area for a bit of a longer period of time, you do make friends and you do interact with people. The notion of solo travel is kind of ironic because you're never really by yourself. Like, I've had plenty of chats on this trip with just random people, and I think because I'm by myself and I'm solo traveling, you're a lot more receptive to having these random little chats with strangers. It has been quite nice having those conversations that you might not normally have when you're out with a group. You do definitely spend a lot more time alone with your thoughts when you solo travel, but I think I'm just really grateful to be at a place where those thoughts are, you for the most part nice and positive and good to be around, and if they're not, then I can reframe them and detach myself from them, and to just not give them that power to take hold over me. We have a lot of random thoughts all the time, and just because you think something doesn't necessarily mean it's true or that it should be taken of any value. It was just kind of nice to let my brain kind of wander there and ponder that question a little bit more. I feel like growing up I always thought of myself as like a big extrovert because I do love people. Like I did love going to parties and everything, and like I love meeting new people still, but I know that I did also need that time by myself to recharge, and I know that I used to feel a lot of shame around that, but there is absolutely nothing to be shameful of. I think I could be equally as happy surrounded by people that I love or being by myself right now. It's just a different type of enjoyment. Sure, you might have more fun being surrounded by a big group of people, but you'll get less of that kind of introspection and less, I guess, relaxation maybe. It's different types of enjoyment, but that doesn't make any one side better than the other. I think it's nice to be able to do both, and honestly I think it's so important to learn to really value that time we spend with ourselves. It doesn't have to be a week of frolicking around by yourself, but it can be spending those evenings alone and not feeling lonely because you're happy within your own company and with what you can give to yourself. To be able to learn to fill your own needs and learn what makes you feel good so that you don't have to rely on others to be able to do that for you. Being able to know yourself and your own boundaries deeper also means that you'll be able to find the people that you really connect with and the people who don't drain your social battery and you don't feel like you need a break from after. Not in a bad way. We all need to recharge our social batteries. I don't mean that hanging out with some people is worse than others, but it's just some people you naturally feel more comfortable around because their energy is more similar to yours maybe. Once you start to find the people where it just feels easy with and it's flowing, and you can be extremely high energy or you can be extremely chill with. Those were some of the things that I was thinking about walking up here, but basically short answer, no, I don't necessarily feel lonely when I'm traveling by myself.
Through your cracked eyelids.
I'm officially starting the trek back home. I said my goodbyes to the beach this morning and had the longest swim ever. The wind was really cold, but the water was warm, so I just did not want to get out, and it was so clear and so beautiful. I'm staying in Brisbane tonight with my dad, who's in town for just the weekend, which is exciting, but it is a 6-hour drive to get there, so it's going to be a long one today, but I'll have the tunes going and maybe listen to a podcast or two, so it'll be all okay. But yeah, this trip was so wonderful and nourishing and refreshing, and it always just makes me so happy and appreciative when I come back and you kind of feel, like I said, refreshed for a little bit. So thank you so much for watching. If you did make it to this point, I'm gonna turn the camera off and hit the road and drive nice and safe and sound. This will be my 5th consecutive weekly upload, so I'm quite proud of myself. A little moment of appreciation for myself here. But if you did enjoy the video and want to see more, please do engage and like and subscribe and comment and all that jazz. I will be back next Thursday. See you then.